Today's episode is sponsored by Dancesoft Gamers. Dancesoft Gamers is the leading distributor of video games and other consumer gadgets like the podcast microphone sets, ring lights, headphones, and affordable smartwatches, and many other cool gadgets. For these and more, visit their website at www.dancesoftgamers.co. That is www.dancesoftgamers.co. What's up? It's 2023. I'm so excited to have you guys on my podcast again this year. Thanks for supporting throughout 2022, and hopefully 2023 we're growing and getting better and bringing the best guests to you. So the other thing too, I'm a little bit sick, and so my voice doesn't sound very good. But yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Mujevale. My name is Bani Kibuka, and welcome to another episode of the Ugandan Ball Talk Show. And Joram is here, so we're gonna get right into it. You always show up for the show. I always love your designs. I wanna be like you. I wanna dress like you. So I need after this podcast, we're gonna reach out to you to give me some of the tips of your fashion. But anyway, how has been your 2022?
Yes.
Let's start from there. How was 2022?
It was life-changing. Absolutely life-changing.
What do you mean when you say what life-changing?
Yes. When I say life-changing, it was literally make manifest. I go to a church here that is called Fanero, kind of Scalango. I go to a church, it's called Fanero, but the slogan is make manifest. Like literally 2022 was one of those years, like make manifest. It was a beautiful year. Okay. Of course, it had like its ups and downs. There were so many people that were leaving us. There were so many people that were just literally disappearing on us out of the blue.
Yeah.
And there were so many event organizers that were playing games that never wanted to pay us, and we would literally just walk out of the show. But those are things that we never post on social media. Like that bit of the drama, no one sees. Absolutely no one sees.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were losses made. There were, it was a year full of like ups and downs. But the good thing is that the beautiful things superseded the bad things, yeah. Like any business, like you make losses, you make ups, you make downs. But on a beautiful note is that the girls that, that are working really, really did well. So yeah, we're grateful. We are happy. They didn't chase us out of the building. They didn't chase us out of our offices. Life is good.
I saw you organize that as I'm gonna the Abrams Fashion Awards.
Oh, the Aspens. We've worked with the Aspens for we've worked with them ever since they started. Like ever since, this guy started this platform, we've worked with him ever since then. And I feel like now it's time to move on to something bigger and so much better. So yeah.
You did a lot of things in 2022. I think I remember seeing you traveling all over the world. I saw you in New York. So how was the traveling part of 2022?
Like I said, it was life-changing. But that was my second time in New York, and I absolutely loved it. And to be honest, I was doing mother agent duties because GMM is a mother agency. We place models worldwide. So as part of a job as a mother agent, or as a mother agency, you're supposed to be in the cities where these girls are placed and support them. Support them because it's a very tough job. Like all people see in modeling is this. They see the covers, they see the runway shows, they see the glitz and the glam, but then they don't know that there's rejection at castings. They don't know that there's so much that these girls go through: depression, mental health issues, them getting lost at the airport, failing to find their way out. So, as a mother agent, when these girls are having seasons, it's very important that you're there to, support them, encourage them,
Right.
It's not just about going going and then slaying and taking all these amazing pictures and then all that. No, it's much more than that. And to also like touch base with their agents, the agents that we place them with. For example, like if you place a girl with agencies in New York, in Paris, in London, in Milano, it's very important that you get to see them, physically. It changes everything. Build, more relationships, to also strengthen the relationships that these girls already have with their agents, and to make sure, they're constantly booked as well. So that is why 2022 saw us travel a lot, like absolutely a lot. We did the fall winter season, and then we also did the spring and summer season. That's New York and then Paris. And this year we're absolutely planning on doing the whole full circle. We want to do New York, Paris, London, Milan. It's expensive as hell.
Yeah.
Let's see what the Lord, provides. Yes.
Actually, I'm glad you touched on that, because when I sent out the questions to your followers and people who listen to my podcast to ask you question, that was one of the questions, and I'm glad you touched on it. I'll just read it, and if you have anything to add on to that, you can.
Question was done.
The question was, what does it take to build a strong mother agent? And you just talked about what's involved in that. I don't know if you had anything else to add on to that.
Yeah, but it's not just the travels and being in the cities as well. It's also being very patient with these talents. Because let me tell you one thing: when you discover a young girl or whatever talent that you discover, they're not going to be stars immediately. And that's where most mother agents get it wrong. That's where most people that venture into this business, they think it's super lucrative that immediately you sign a girl, she goes to New York, she goes to Milan, she goes to Paris, she goes to London, she's going to build a house, she's going to make you rich, she's going to do all these things. No, it doesn't happen like that. It happens in a way that you have to be very patient. Absolutely patient. It's like planting trees. I would say planting trees because trees take forever to grow. Right. Like if you're going to plant trees that you're going to supply to Umeme, you have to wait for like 5 years for you to like start supplying those trees or something like that. So it's more or less like, being a mother agent. You have to be very patient, and then be very, you also have to be very, very kind to these talents, because at the end of the day, they come from different backgrounds altogether. These are not your kids, but literally you have to become their mother, like the word itself is. You have to become the mother agent. You have to understand that they come from different backgrounds. They were raised differently. They come from different cultural backgrounds as well. So things that you think are obvious to some people might not be obvious to them. You have to be very patient, be loyal to these kids, get to understand them, be very loving, be very kind, be very professional as well, and be very tough at the same time. Yeah. Right. So you have to balance being nice and then being really, really tough. Yeah.
I think now that we've started the question stuff, I'll go ahead and just finish the question before I go into my normal interviews that I do. So the other question I got was from somebody, and I don't remember the names. I copied and pasted. So if you hear your question, I asked it. Somebody was wondering if you ever get intimidated by anybody. Like he said, does Joram ever get intimidated? Does he get intimidated by people? And has he ever been intimidated? So they just want to know that. I don't know why, but somebody asked.
Let me tell you, every normal human being on planet Earth gets intimidated. Like, there's no one that is going to say, "Oh, I am not terrified. I'm not scared. I am not." It's just, it comes back to how do you handle intimidation? Like, how do you handle people that intimidate you? I've walked into spaces, I've gone to meetings whereby people look at you up and down like you have Ebola, like you come from they look at you like you're very disgusting. Like, have you ever walked into a meeting whereby you telling them what you do, you're doing everything, but then they're just looking at you like, "Oh, poor little boy, he sells oils," or something like that, excuse my French. But at the end of the day, you have to put up this, I call it putting up a performance, you speaking from the heart, and then you let them know that this is what I stand for, this is what I do, and then all that. So over time, I have learned to build a very strong personality, a very strong shield, whereby When I walk into a room, whether you like me or not, you will have to listen to whatever I'm saying. Whether you agree with whatever I'm saying, I will stand up for something that I'm saying. Whether you're going to give me the job or not, I still will walk in, have a strong personality, smile, light up the room, and then just own it. Like, in short, I've mastered the art of taking up space. So to that person that was asking whether I get intimidated or not, trust me, it is something that we build over time. I've noticed even big brands, they build this over time. They learn how to play along with, social media, how to play along with branding, how to play along with when they go for meetings and then all that. But yes, I do get intimidated most of the times, but I would never in a million years show it. Even when I'm producing shows, when I'm doing all these things, my team knows. They know that I always panic, like I'm always screaming. I'm literally panicking. I'm crying inside. But at the end of the day, I can never show that to the world. I have learned to put up a performance.
I was gonna say that because anytime I've seen you talk, anytime I've seen you anywhere, like even when I watch you on interviews, I watch you on TV, I watch you speak, like they hosted you to this. It was what was it? Skills something for this the guy who does Purple Party, Douglas.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Douglas. And you were speaking to some of the girls there modeling. So, and anytime I see you talk, you speak with so confidence, and I'm like, this guy doesn't get intimidated.
But the thing is, it's called you practice. To be honest, I've been practicing for the past 10 years. You know, like how Beyonce would practice for a show and practice, and by the time she's going to give the show, it's like literally a walkover. I've been practicing for the past 10 years, to be honest, like, because this is our 11th year. So imagine for the past 10 years, it's been a lot of rehearsal. So right now, it's showtime.
Right, showtime, baby. The other question was, how does he stay consistent with what he does? Like, how do you stay consistent with whatever you do? I think they meant with what you do,
First things first, you need an amazing team. I am so thankful and so grateful to the team that I work with. The thing is, people never get to see them. They only see them at shows, maybe at concert, whatever, shows that we produce, pageants, and then all that. But at the end of the day, there's me, Joram. All they see is the person. And now that I'm creating like so much content, so much reels, I'm like in people's faces, something like that. But they use not to see me at all. But at the end of the day, it's a teamwork effort. It's not a one-man show whereby, oh my God, Joram is here, There's a team that is working relentlessly, a team that is, making sure the models are developed, the models are doing whatever they're doing, their visas come on time, they're being trained. It's too much that is done because one person like this can never do it. Like, absolutely no. You could be the brains behind it. You could be super amazing. You could be very talented. You could be intelligent. But at the end of the day, when you don't have a very strong support system, it never works. It absolutely doesn't work. That is why for the past 10 years, I would say it's been teamwork. Absolute teamwork. And then also you have to be very resilient, to be honest. You have to be super resilient for you to know that like dreams are valid, but they're not valid in a year. They're not valid in 2 years. They're not, like, some dreams are valid in like 10 years. Some dreams are valid in like 5 years. So the reason is why I've really been consistent is that I've also mastered the art of, like, it takes time. I've learned to be patient. I've also learned to be extremely resilient, for me to know that you're going to trash me today, but then tomorrow I will be in your face telling you, yes, we made it. And then also the other thing is to handle criticism very, very well. It's very, very important for you to learn from the criticism from the people. Because I remember when we started, so many people underestimated us, they undermined us, they never wanted to pay. But for us to put the ladder so high and tell ourselves that these are the standards, this is, models have to be treated well, models have to be paid, they have to be treated like normal human beings. It took time. It absolutely took time. So I would say it's been resilience, great teamwork, and I'm a very prayerful person as well. Like, super prayerful. I used to sing in the church choir. Yeah, that is on the record. I used to sing in the church.
What are you singing? What are you singing?
Yeah. I used to.
Were you singing soprano, alto?
No, like my voice was tenor. I was in between tenor and then alto, yeah, something like that. But I used to sing a lot in the church choir. But you know, when I left singing the church choir, I grew up spiritually. I go to church literally every week. I fellowship a lot. I pray a lot. Like every time I'm doing something, I always pray, whether we backstage, whether we something, because at the end of the day, I've learned that there's a supernatural power that none of us in this world will own. And only one person above owns it. That is God. So it's very important to, always pray. And the other thing is it's doing a lot of research. You research and research and research. And then the last one I would say is learning from our failures, learning from our mistakes. You have to make mistakes for you to go to another level. Like if you don't make these mistakes, there's no way you're going to learn. So you try something, it doesn't work out. You try another thing, you make mistakes, you do all these things, and then you finally figure out the formula. So I'm not going to say the formula for us to be consistent has been, wake up every day, go to the agency, do this. No, trust me, sometimes we wake up every day to go to the agency when there's nothing, when they're rejecting the girls, when the visas are not coming out, when the girls are not working. But you really have to show up. Like you really, really have to show up on a daily basis. Yeah. So it's a lot, absolutely a lot, yeah.
This is why I like talking to people, like having a conversation with somebody and just not assume stuff out of the blue. Because if somebody comes to your Instagram and he or she doesn't see that you post yourself going to funeral, yourself like singing the church choir, or you post Bible verses, you're gonna say, oh no, guy.
Yeah, they'll judge you. Like that's the thing. Like let me tell you like a very small story. There was this time like we're doing a show, and then I am backstage, and I'm like, ladies, we all need to pray. And then one model looks at me and he says, "Oh wow, I actually thought you guys never pray. I actually thought you're just people that are always in the club, always dancing. How do you know God?" And I was like, "What the family is this person talking about?" But it's simply because some people will always judge what they see. You get because we don't post these lives on social media. We don't post ourselves in church. We don't post ourselves on our knees crying. We don't. But at the end of the day, we lock ourselves back at home and you cry. I cry a lot, by the way, but people never get to see that because I never show that side of me. I'm the type of person who will even get out to just go to the bathroom to cry and cry and cry and cry and then wash my face and show up looking like a star, but then people don't know that I've been crying. So we never post that bit. Yeah, we don't.
Even the other thing, even the Bible itself says Katonda akebera mitima. Like God doesn't.
Trust me. Akebera mitima. Trust me. Akebera mitima. Yeah, that bit is very, very true. Absolutely true.
You're talking about crying and some of the things that would make you cry. Have you ever one time even ever thought about like, oh, this is too much for me, I'm gonna quit about it, like I'm gonna leave it?
Oh my God, to be honest, like that happens, I would say every month. It happens every month. Like when we're sending these girls to start their careers internationally, like we cry a lot. Like absolutely, you're gonna cry when the girl doesn't understand that this is a business. You will cry when the girl goes and then she gets lost at the airport. You will cry when the girl is literally not communicating to you. Because at the end of the day, the parents of these girls trust us with their young girls. You get it, and you're literally being entrusted with someone's life to send them to a foreign country to start working as international models. So sometimes you don't know exactly what could happen. To be realistic, like you don't know whether the girl is going to be on the plane and then she misses another flight. You don't know whether the girl will absolutely not even make it there. She could probably go somewhere and the plane leaves her. So many things happen, and trust me, I cry a lot. Like I absolutely, but I'm not a crybaby. Don't get me wrong, but I cry a lot. I cry when people don't understand that there's so much on the line for them. Like they absolutely don't understand that beat. Like I also cry when you try and help so many people, but then they turn out to be super entitled. They turn out to be like some people feel like they have to do it. Like how you're trying to help someone, but then at the end of the day, they feel like they have to do it. Like I must achieve this. I must do ABCD. So yeah, the crying beat is always there. Yeah, absolutely always there. But trust me, I never saw this beat. I'll never like cry in front of people. I've only cried once in front of people. I think that the time when I won the whole Stamika thing, yeah, that's the only time I cried. Yeah.
The other question, one person was asking, do you mind asking Joram if he has a story behind the scar on his face?
Yes. Absolutely, yes. It's because I won't share it here, but I do. It's somewhere here. I do have a story. I got this car when I was a child. I think I was around 3 years old, 2.5, 3 years old. That's what my grandparents told me. So we were in the village, our maternal side, that's in Busheni. And then my big sister, she's called Joram Muzira. She was harvesting passion fruits. The hard ones, right? Not the soft ones, the hard passion fruits that grow on big trees. So as she was harvesting these passion fruits, I was down. I was on the tree down and I kept collecting. But as a child, and she was using a sickle. A sickle with a stick?
Yeah.
A sickle is always like this, yeah.
It's
very, very sharp. So it's the one that she was using. She kept harvesting the fruits and then all that. And I kept collecting them the whole time. So she kept telling me, please go away. This thing could fall down and hit your face. But as a child, you will never understand. You just keep, harvesting whatever. You just keep taking the fruit. And then out of the blue, this sickle just fell down because she was a young girl. She was around maybe 6 or 8. So the sickle just fell down and hit my face so bad, like that. But I'm just so grateful that it never hit my eye.
Right.
Because imagine, I think I'll be blind or something.
Yeah.
But it didn't hit my hit like that, and then after that, I don't remember anything else that followed. Yeah. But they told me the whole story, so they had to take me to hospital and then all that. Yeah, and so that's how I got this scar. So, but then this scar growing up as a child was also very hard growing up with it, because when you're in high school, so many kids are gonna be like, oh, your mom sanga Benyaman, your mom Kuba, like these kids have so many stories, and they're like, oh, the guy with the scar, oh, da, 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 da. Oh, he was trying to steal something and then they beat him up, oh, da, 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 da. So the thing is that growing up in all these different high schools, different schools that I went to, it was hard, very, very, very hard, because everyone had a different story towards it. And I hated this scar so much that even when I was taking pictures, I would always pose like this. Like if you see most of my pictures up to now, it kind of affects me. I like posing with this side because I feel like it's my favorite side because it doesn't have the scars. So yeah. But then also it taught me that you have to believe in yourself so much, because I remember when I was starting my journey as a fashion model, because I wanted to be a model so many years ago. I went to this agency, I won't mention their name, but then I went to this agency and then the photographer there said, oh, wow, you look a little bit scary. In case we need gothic looking people, we're going to call you back for a job because of this scar. I was like, wow. To be honest, that's the most harsh thing I've ever had in my career. But thank God, I pray this photographer gets to watch this interview. Look at us now.
I know. That reminds me of one of my I think, let me put this out there. I think you're a funny guy. Anytime I talk to you, I laugh a lot and I enjoy talking to you. So I'll just put that out there right now. And I'm trying to get myself together to ask him in the next question. But one of my favorite now I'm also confused because of laughing. One of my favorite songs I love from that one girl, I don't even remember her name, Scars to You're Beautiful. I felt like she did a weird song. Some of the scars are seen, some of the scars are not seen, some of the scars are internal, like people can't see, some of the scars are out there. But I love that song because it builds confidence to somebody, and I love it for other people, to just know you're beautiful the way you are, no matter what, no matter the scars you have, you're beautiful. So yeah, I had to put that out there to remind even the listeners to know.
Absolutely.
That. So now I get to do some of the questions that we did last time that I asked you about. The last time we did a podcast that people never got to hear about because we had some problem with the sound. And when you were talking about these other questions we asked, you talked about your siblings. Can you tell me about your family background and how many siblings you had?
Oh my God, I come from a very huge extended family. My father was a very busy man. He had, I think, over 60 something kids. So many, so many, absolutely so many. Different wives, different stepmoms, different kids altogether. But he was very wealthy. He was very rich, absolutely rich. Like Mr. Muzira was very, very rich. But because he used to work with the government. And then he used to work with the UN. He was working with the president. He was filthy, really, really rich. But unfortunately, when he died, everything just went into dark spaces, absolute dark spaces, because he had so many wives, he had so many stepmoms. So the minute he died, Our mother was, I think, the last wife that he had. Yeah. The same year he died, 1994, is the same year our mother died. So when he died, our mother also died the same year, and then they had to take us to the village. So we had to grow up with our grandpa, and our grandpa and our grandma. Unfortunately, they all died. They all passed so many years ago. So we spent at least like 4 or 5 years in the village raising cows. We had to like shatter, what are they called, stones, so that we can get like some tuition to go to school, and at the same time also like do a lot of like planting, what is it called, like digging, a lot of like digging, so that we can get money, something like that. Yeah. So the childhood bit of it, when our father died, everything just transcended from. It just changed from being super rich to being super broke to growing up in the village, doing all that. But then after the 5 years, one of our distant relatives had to come to the village and then picked us up. They brought us to Kampala, and then, life came back to normal. So the family that I come from has like so many people, like absolutely so many people. On my maternal side, there are 4, one girl and then 3 boys. Yeah. We were 5, but then one of the kids died when we were very, very young. I think he died when it was like 1.5. Yeah. The minute our mother died, the kid also died. Yeah.
I like to ask those kind of questions of your background, childhood background, because when somebody looks at you walking on the red carpet, when somebody looks at you in front of the cameras and TVs, it's like, Manang, I want like this guy, Yamala, your thing is like like he has everything together. But when people sit down and listen to your background,
because I didn't go to like, the thing is like, even like the schools and then all that, I didn't go to like the most fancy traditional schools, like how people say, oh my God, I was at which school should I use, like Gayaza, I was at Budo, I was at King's College, I was at Cambodia. No. I went to like the most humble of humblest schools. Yeah. Super, super humble, yeah. Because I did like, like we had to go like to different schools altogether. So at some point I was studying in Bushenyi at some school called Bushenyi Town School. Then they brought us to Kampala. Then from Kampala they had to take us to Hoima. So I was in Hoima. Then from Hoima they had to take us to Bujiri. Then from Bujiri they had to take us to Kamuni. Because like we are not even semester, they're called terms when you're in primary. Like this time you're going to be with stepmother number 1. Term number 2 you're with stepmother number 2. Term number 3 you're with a different relative, like that. That's how we grew up, yeah. Until our big sister, she clocked 18 years old, and then she took us on, and she started taking care of us for around 8 years until she got married. Yeah.
So you talked about the stamp maker when we did the first recording, and I want the people to know about the story, how it came up for you to be labeled the name the stamp maker, because that's how I knew you, and I knew that through when I hosted Over Nakakande on the podcast. And for the record, I have to pass this out here. I've hosted a few girls that have worked with you on my podcast, and Oliver, and recently I had a kid, and they all have positive things to say, and the impact that you've done in their lives to change their lives, and they can come here, have a story about it. And to me, I see that as the thing, like the outcome of the star maker. You make stars. And I wanted you to just talk about that a little bit, how you came up with the title of the star maker.
Okay, so I didn't come up with the title. Like, I never woke up one day and said, oh wow, you're the star maker or something like that. So like I said, we've worked with the Aspers for the past 8 years. And in 2019, if I remember very well, 2019, they had, it was an honorary award. Like no one was competing for it, like absolutely no one. It was just like an honorary award whereby, they recognize individuals that have probably like excelled, created impact, changed people's lives, things like that. So one of the awards was called the Star Maker, something like it was called the Star Maker. So this award was supposed to be awarded to someone that has been very monumental in people's lives, changed their lives, and created like impact in their societies at the end of the day. Like, people that have paved ways for like generations, something like that. And like I said, I work on the panel for the, I work on, the panel for the Aspers, like I work with the Aspers. So I knew that this award exists, but then I never, ever in a million years knew that they were going to give it to me. Because, on the team, we all kept thinking, oh, maybe the star maker is going to be the boss for Fennon. His name is Steve Jing. Or the star maker is going to be, Ali Bai. That's what we actually thought, because these are legends that have been in the game for a very long time. They've changed so many lives. They've paved so many, ways for so many creatives. So that's what I actually thought. I kept thinking maybe it's going to be Ali, maybe it's Steve, something like that. So yeah, and the awards are happening, and I never wanted to dress up for these awards, because usually when I'm working, I never dress up. When I'm working for the awards, I'll just be my all black, maybe shorts or anything, and I'm on the production desk. But then the team kept telling me, please dress up, and I'm like, why are they telling me to dress up? Like, I have no idea. Why are they telling me to dress up? But then, okay, I just allowed, and I'm like, let me just throw on like a very long train or something like that and just sit on the production desk. So the award is being read, and then they read out my name. I literally froze. Like, I never, ever in a million years believed that it was going to be me. Yeah. So just like that, when they gave me the award, yeah, for the very first time in my life, I cried in front of people, but they'll never see me cry again. So yeah, I received the award, and then when I got the award, I decided to use this award to create more impact. You get it? That's how, because everyone started calling me, oh, star maker, oh, star maker. And for some reason, it made sense. So we created a show out of it. We created our own personal show, our own show for the agency, GMM. It's called the Star Maker. So the Star Maker highlights creatives that have excelled in their different arenas altogether, right? From fashion, philanthropy, modeling, pageantry, name it all. So we highlight different people that have changed the narrative. But we started the Star Maker with our very own telling the stories of our very own models that we discovered. Yeah. So the show airs a lot on YouTube, but very soon it will be going on TV. Nice. We're not going to give out those details yet. Yep. But yeah, it airs on YouTube for now. And yeah, every month is 2 episodes. Yeah. So that's how it all started. Yeah. So but I never crowned myself. I never woke up one day and told myself.
Yeah. So when you were talking about that, you mentioned about dressing up, and I've seen some of the pictures when you actually dress up. And who inspires, or what inspires your dress code, your fashion? Is there something when you say oh, I like this fashion, I'm gonna go for that, or did you just come up with the fashion you dress up with?
To be honest, back then it used to be the let Andre Leontali, may his soul rest in peace. I loved Andre so much, absolutely so much. That is why, you would see me wear big caps, wear all these huge, humongous clothes, and then all that, because I used to, I looked up to him so much, absolutely so much. Him being one of those icons that changed fashion for so many years. I absolutely adored the work that he did. So I used to get inspired a lot. That is why if you see my fashion sense back then, I used to wear a lot of capes and then all that, paying homage to him. But right now, I would say my sense of fashion has changed a little bit. I'm more daring, absolutely daring, in a way that I want to walk into a room and people have to feel my presence. They have to feel oh my God, he's over there, something like that. So I would say I'm inspired by events. If an event is very out of this world, I will absolutely dress it. If the event is a little bit basic and low key, I'm not going to waste my very expensive couture to just show up or something like that. But I'm also inspired by daily life, circumstances. When a girl wins, I really want to celebrate, so I will show up. I will dress up and show up. And based on even how I feel, if I'm feeling really, really good, I am absolutely going to show up. If I'm not feeling myself, I'm going to show up in my t-shirt and jeans. So,
yeah. The other question I was going to ask you about was if Joram has a lot of assistants that... so now, congratulations, by the way, you were made it on the list of the top 100 celebrities in Uganda. I got to put that out there. And please answer a question for my listener that asked.
Okay, now let me tell you one thing. We do have an amazing team, absolutely an amazing team. Yeah. Super amazing team. But I'm not the type of person who's going to be like, oh my God, talk to my assistant. Like John is not,
but now you're a
like John is not
celebrity.
available. Please talk to my assistant. Oh, this assistant has to hold my back. Oh, this assistant has to call ABCD. Oh no, like I love to treat people with a lot of respect. I love to treat people with a lot of like, I mean, like human beings, because to be honest, I don't believe in that whole theory of like when you're famous or when you have like a little fame, you have like so many people surrounding you, hold my back, call ABCD, da, da, da. To be honest, like I don't believe in that. Like I feel like it's just too outdated. Like it's too much. So that is why you actually realize that even me when I go for shows or anything, I'll even go for the shows by myself. Like I'll just have like someone helping me shoot my reels or anything like that. But no, to be honest, I have a team. And the team that I have, they're not assistants. They are professional, amazing agents, bookers, show producers, pageant coaches. I don't label them as assistants. I don't. The day I'll get an assistant, maybe I'll start acting like the devil wears Prada. But for now, no.
I gotta say, you're one of the. Obviously, you're a celebrity. You made it to the list. Civi Gambo Biang. I'm not making up
officially,
one.
so I will accept the title. Officially, I was like number 90 something, but this year I'm gonna be in the top 10.
You're one of those celebrities on that list that I've actually like. You don't have pride, like you're a normal person. People should get to talk to you.
To be honest, let me tell you one thing. Like pride is the start of your downfall. The minute you start to feel like I have arrived, down you go. Like no one is going to want to work with you. No one wants to work with someone who is impossible. No one wants to work with someone who's a diva, someone who's, you see, like even people that have so much money, they are very, very humble. And I'm also grateful that the people that I look up to so much, because I have mentors. I do have silent mentors that I never mentioned, but I have mentors that have so much money, filthy billionaires, but they're still very humble. Like these people even go downtown and they eat food from the market. You get so it doesn't make sense for someone to like start acting level-headed like that.
Yeah. What's the process of the girls that would love to join the GMM agency? Like what does somebody have to do to join that?
Okay, it's pretty much simple. We always have open calls. Our open calls happen every Wednesday because now we've introduced another day, Wednesdays and Fridays at the agency. Our agency is located at Tirupati Mazima Mall on level 3. That's on the 3rd floor. The suite is 253. Tirupati Mazima Mall is just opposite the American Embassy next to Lashetu. So if you live in Uganda and you're watching this, I will repeat. Tirupati Mazima Mall in Zambia, Kabalagala Road, on the 3rd floor, office is 253. You can walk in anytime, starting from the hours of 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. every Wednesday and Friday. Just walk in. The scouts will be waiting for you, the bookers and everyone. So you can easily walk in like that. So if you're not based in Uganda, we do have a website. That's www.jorammodernmanagement.com. When you go to our website, you will notice that there's a way you can apply. Just go to, Scouted. How do I get scouted? You will see there's an application form. There's the rules and regulations, requirements that we look for, and then that's it. And the most beautiful thing about this whole process is that everything is for free. We never charge any single penny for you to be enrolled at GMM, for you to sign up with us or anything. It's purely based on merit. When a girl is good, she's absolutely good. But having said all that, GMM is now all females, strictly all females. We don't deal with male models at the moment, no. So we're always looking for, female models the whole time, yeah. So the process is pretty much simple. And then we also have casting calls that are happening. We have scouting tours. We have, go to our Instagram, jorammodernmanagement.com. You're going to see a lot when it comes to, scouting, when it comes to the dates that we're always looking for people. So yeah, just be on the outlook. But we always looking for new faces.
Today's episode is sponsored by Dancesoft Gamers. Dancesoft Gamers is the leading distributor of video games and other consumer gadgets like the podcast microphone sets, ring lights, headphones, and affordable smartwatches, and many other cool gadgets. For these and more, visit their website at www.dancesoftgamers.co. That is www.dancesoftgamers.co.
Yeah, this second session, I just wanted to sum up because I know you have other plans or things to do. But one of the things I was just going to touch up a little bit, and one of the people that I've had on the podcast that I've talked positive about you was Over Nakakande, and she's a dear friend, and she's supported me. Like even when I was gonna win this award, you're supporting me, and I know you've worked together with her. How has it been working with Oliver?
With Over Nakakande, I would say she's very smart. She's one of the smartest beauty queens that I've met. Absolutely very smart, very intelligent, very witty, and she also has a very entrepreneur spirit as well. She's very business oriented. I love that. Like absolutely very business oriented, and I also like the fact that she's a risk taker. Like she's not one person that would say, you know what, I'm going to invest this to just see that this happens in my career, something like that. And you know, it doesn't happen every day to have such people. And she's grounded at the same time. She's very humble. Yeah. She's a joy to work with, honestly, like absolutely a joy to work with. That is why, like, now we absolutely working together a lot. I don't look at her as, yo, wow, that little girl that I mentored or something like that, and then she went for Miss Grand, and then she did well or something like that. Now I look at her as a business entrepreneur. I look at her as one person that I know we can do business together, we can do projects together, we can push each other. Yeah, so super amazing, like absolutely amazing.
She's really amazing, and in everything that she does. So yeah, these are my final questions that I have to ask you. What has been a life lesson that you've learned in life to this point?
I've learned so many life lessons. You just want me to give you one, right?
Yeah, just one.
I've learned so many life lessons. The biggest life lesson that I've learned is put yourself first. It's very, very important. Put yourself first, always. Always. It's very, very, very important, because we live in a world whereby you are going to sleep on the floor, sleep very uncomfortable for someone to like sleep like a king, be, you know, in higher places or anything like that. But at the end of the day, they'll still disappoint you. Like they'll absolutely disappoint you. So I have learned that, yes, it's very good to give, it's very good to help, it's very good to, you know, be with a very beautiful heart, be a good person, be kind, be amazing, be great. But don't forget yourself. Do not forget yourself at all in the midst of all this. Don't sleep on the floor so that someone can roll over you for them to sleep like kings. No, don't. Put yourself first. I know it sounds very selfish, but it's a life lesson that I've learned over the years. I have learned. I absolutely have learned that. Yeah.
What gets you excited about life?
Seeing people win.
Yeah,
it gets me excited a lot. Most especially like when we scout like little young girls, and then woo, they end up becoming stars, and also being very impactful in people's lives, and you see them like succeed, you see them go to the next level. To be honest, I feel like that is success. Just you being that one person that connects the dots to see that people make it in life, thrive, and then they succeed. To be honest, that is success to me. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's one of the things that really, really makes me happy. Yeah.
That's amazing. And like, if you, like what you just said earlier when I asked you the first question about love yourself first, but if you have that and you're also happy for other people winning, I think the selfishness you have in the first one makes up for the second one.
Where you see exactly. That is why it's very important for you to be selfless. But at the end of the day, don't forget yourself. I used to be extremely selfless. Like I was the type who would sleep on the floor. So that's someone, you know, is sleeping on the. I don't even know why I'm using that as an example. But I used to be the type of person whereby every time I would put myself last. I will go to bed last when the girl is on the plane. I will not sleep. I will be crying. Nowadays I'm like, oh, she gets on the plane, she's going to figure it out. I will sleep and I'll wake up in the morning and see how far she has reached. So it is, you know, when you're always giving and giving and giving, you reach a point whereby you feel like, oh, you know what? You have to get the love back. You have to get all the good things back to yourself as well. So it's important to be selfless, but at the end of the day, like don't die trying to be so selfless. Yeah. Put yourself first and be happy for people. Yeah. So I've learned to strike a balance with that.
That's awesome. And I'll refer to the Bible too. I mean, the Bible says, love yourself the way, love others the way you love yourself. So it doesn't say don't love yourself, but just love them the way you love yourself. So you have to love yourself, be able to love others.
But trust me, it starts with you. If you don't love yourself, there's no way you're going to love them. Absolutely.
So my final question is, and I should remember from the last podcast, but who would you like to see on my podcast and next as a guest to interview or talk with, have a chat with, and you help me connect me to that person?
Oh my God, this person is so huge, but I don't think he would allow. So no, I would say the next person that I was. The next person that I would love to see on this podcast, and I'll have to talk to them. I would say one of the we do have a group. It's called the Game Changers, right? And the Game Changers are boundary breakers. They shatter ceilings. They move places. So I'm going to nominate one person from that group, from the Game Changers, and that person is going to be he's an award-winning stylist, designer. He's doing major things in Uganda, like absolutely major things. He's showcasing outside Uganda. He's traveling the world. He's doing all big things in this country. His name is Kaijuka Abbas, the creative director for Kai's Diva Collection. So I nominate you, Kai's Diva Collection, to be the next person to be host on this show. And I'll make sure he's on this show without fail. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I like it that way. I like the last one you said. The last line sums up everything. I'll make sure he's on the show. I love that.
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
Joram, it's always amazing to chat with you. And even if it's not face to face, when I message you on WhatsApp or Instagram, I laugh behind my phone. It's just a joy and fun to people should just talk to you a lot. People who are like sad, miserable, they will laugh and have a good time just talking to you. And
no, but trust me, some people would never do that. Like other people would just be like, "Oh my God, he's very mean, he's very rude, he's very, all these things." Yeah. I'm like a chameleon. Like today I'm green, tomorrow I'm purple.
Yeah. So it just like to get you in a good mood. Like you just have to be lucky to get you in a mood, like good mood.
Not in a good mood. No. It's not based on a mood or anything like that. It's based on it's based on the surroundings, work, people, and then all that. Yeah. Okay. That is why when you come and you see us producing a show, you will be shocked, but that's not Joram. You'll think, oh my God, he yells, he screams, all these things. But then when it's not a fashion show and then we're just talking, we're just having conversations, it's totally different. Absolutely different. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take a quick picture here and then I will, yes, sir. Anyway, yeah, so thank you very much, sir. And I don't want to go into the time that you're going to do other plans, but I had a good time talking to you. And thank you very much for being on my podcast.
Thank you so much for hosting me. And I can't wait to watch myself.
Yeah.
Oh my God, famous!
I'll be the one who says that. No, you. You've already made it. You're already on the list.
All
right, Joram. See you.
I made it to your podcast, so I'm gonna be famous. Everyone in America is gonna watch it.
All right. Let's keep in touch. Have a good time. Okay, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Hey there, this is Bani Kibuka, the host of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Thanks for watching and listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with a friend and recommend somebody to this podcast. Don't forget to leave a feedback on this podcast because that's how we grow. And also don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. Join us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So we would love to hear from you. Thank you very much and be blessed.